My career really started with the first Tasmanian devil sample from an animal called Munston, who lived at Taronga Zoo. So I started that work in 2006, and all these years later, I always get a thrill coming and seeing the devils. So I've been really lucky in that I've been involved in Australia's big genome projects. So, you'll remember the human genome was sequenced. That was a big effort, 15 years of sequencing, $3 billion. That happened right at the beginning of my career, whereas now it's affordable to start sequencing genomes of other species. So we just published the koala genome just last week, so it had great fanfare. It was actually 5 years worth of work, and there were 54 researchers involved in the project. And my job is quite exciting in this leadership position because I get to connect people globally. The most important thing about PLC is I met my best friend at PLC. So we both started in year 6 and we made friends in year 6. And, all these years later, we're still best friends. I went to university, finished my PhD, and it wasn't till I arrived here at the University of Sydney that I realised that I was thriving in what was at the time a man's world. And I think the thing that PLC gave me was a real confidence in my own abilities. So I think all girls were encouraged to do science and maths. I did science and maths. I just thought that was normal. And when I arrived here as a postdoc, I realised that, there were very few senior women in the university. And in fact, I was the first woman to apply for professor in my faculty. And I've had a few of those opportunities where I was the first, which doesn't seem normal to me because I grew up in a world where women could do anything. Science is all about collaboration, communication, creativity, perseverance. Yes, you've got to do those early years in the lab, and they're actually, some of the most enjoyable years because you just get to follow your interests. But after that, you're bringing other people along, and that's what becomes exciting, is seeing your students develop and go on and do amazing things. And my students have ended up all over the world in amazing leadership positions. For me, that's what keeps me going, is that you're constantly challenged, you're constantly surrounded by young, enthusiastic, energetic people who all come in with new ideas. You do look back at some stage and think, gee, I was lucky.